Good evening. Welcome to the April 11th Board of Works meeting. First order of business is the Pledge of Allegiance. All right. I want to make a note that member Taylor is absent tonight, and also we have a new member. Bill Stoner is replacing Steve Large here on our Board of Works, so he is my new appointment. And because we have a previous member absent and as well as a new member, we do not have two votes to approve the minutes, so we will approve those at the April 25th meeting. On to department reports. First up, Chief Batts.
Good evening, everyone. Since the last Board of Works meeting, Lebanon Fire has made 91 emergency calls of service. We've held 24 training sessions, logging in 50 hours. We performed 40 commercial inspections, participated in one public education event, installed 2 car seats, and we performed 10 car seat inspections. LFD and LPD have gone together to purchase a booth at this year's home show at the Boone County Fairgrounds. The public can meet the admin staffs of both departments as well as on-duty police officers and firefighters. The booth will be interactive for children. We'll have a set of turnout gear on hand for the kids to try on, and both departments will be passing out public safety material. On April 23rd, LFD and LPD will be hosting a joint car seat clinic at Station 11, located at 975 Lasley Drive. Lebanon Fire received an $800 grant from the Indiana Criminal Justice System to go towards this car seat clinic. Car seats, installation, and inspection will be free of charge. The clinic will be from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. This year, LFD will be hosting 2 classes for FDIC, that is the Fire Department Instructors Conference. First due engine company operations will be held at the Boone County Training Tower. Station 11 is hosting the classroom portion for the building collapse class. The hands-on portion will be done at a house at 180 West. Over 240 firefighters from across the United States will be trained right here. We would like to thank Michael and Carrie Dale for their generous donation of a farmhouse on their property for the building collapse class. Lieutenant Brett Klingler and firefighter Jason Adams will be taking Ladder 11 and participating in ladder company operations at the old Lafayette Square Mall, and that's a part of the FDIC program. Lebanon Fire, and along with the Ladies Fire Auxiliary, would like to invite everyone to the annual 2016 Lebanon Firefighters Ball. This year, the ball was moved up to Saturday, May 23rd to optimistically capitalize on the late spring and early summer weather. We will see how that goes. Hopefully it does not snow. And you can visit our City of Lebanon Fire Department Facebook page and scroll down, and you can register to go to the ball. That's all I have this evening.
Thank you, Chief.
Yep.
Any questions from members of the board? Any questions from the public? Okay, on to John Messenger, Parks Department.
Good evening. Yeah, Chuck, talking about bad weather, I tell you, the last couple of weeks, we had 3 trees that went down. We took care of those. We did have them marked. They had big holes in them anyway from the insects, so got those cleaned up. Still have a lot of branches to pick up. I think we'll be picking them up all year. The varsity baseball team has been trying to get their season started here at Memorial Park. Finally, Thursday, it looks like we have some nice weather coming up, so hope everybody can attend that first home game. It's against Western Boone, our rival, so ought to be a good one. I think 6 o'clock is the time, so if you can get out there, we have a good team this year. There is a lot of activity in all the parks. We have our soccer league going, our youth soccer league at Abner Longley. Have a lot of walkers, so if you could slow down and look out for the kiddos. Have a lot of walkers and a lot of kids in the playground. I want to thank the police department putting a little speed thing out there to have everybody be aware of their speed, and I think that's helping out. Seeing those little red and blue lights light up all the time, so I think they know they need to be slowing down, so hopefully that'll help put it in their minds too. We have a new program for Mother's Day this year. Saturday, May 7th, the event's called Cupcakes and Canvas. I think I spoke about it last time. It'll begin at 11 a.m. There will be canvas painting class and light refreshments. Registration's $20 per person, which is pretty cheap, I guess, for that canvas painting. Lady from Brownsburg's coming up to help us out. But anyway, register at the park office or call for the information. It's also online. At the last park board meeting, we discussed pricing throughout the shelters in the water park. The park board decided to keep the prices the same, which I think is really good, except for non-resident prices. They changed that, it went up a little bit. As far as that, we've already had 5 pool parties booked. We had 21 last year, I think it was. 3 the previous years is the average, so already a good start there. Have 1 from out of town already, so we thought there might be a need to go ahead and start doing that. Several of the business parks have already called to try and set up dates, so I think we're not going to have any problem. If we have any overflow for those, we might open it up on Thursdays too, which will be nice. Let me see. Also met with Pascal Fetting from the Boone County Mental Health, and on board this summer we're going to have, teaming up with the library and mental health, have 3 free movies, June, July, and August, out at Memorial Park in the baseball field. Real nice event. It's going to be free to the families, but donations are accepted and would greatly be appreciated. There again, we have co-ed softball registration still to the end of the month. We'll be starting those leagues in May. And we've also hired all our staff for the summer. Over 40 high school and college kids will be working at the pool and out in the yard this year. Looking forward to a great season, and they're all getting certified right now. They're defibrillator training and CPR. So the fire department helps us out a lot on that also. And that's all we had.
Thanks, John.
Thank you.
Any questions from the board? No. Questions from the public? Okay, thank you, sir. Next up, Derek Warren, Planning Department.
Good evening, everyone. I hate to disappoint, but I have a pretty boring report to give tonight. A bunch of numbers. Except for the first thing I'll start off with. There's going to be an easement public forum open house on April 18th at 6 p.m. in this room. The Lebanon Utilities is hosting this open house. And it's the opportunity to discuss the importance of keeping impediments out of easements. I'm going to join the presentation to talk about how the permitting process from our office can help an applicant identify where easements are located. This forum will be broadcast on local TV channel and then posted on the city's YouTube channel. Again, that was April 18th, next Monday at 6 p.m. in this room. So anyone that would like to come hear about easements, the exciting topic, we'll be talking about it for about an hour. Next thing I'm going to do is give you some 2016 quarterly report from some permits that we have given out. A trend is starting to happen here. The single-family residential permits are starting to pick up. One subdivision in particular, Auburn Meadows. Sorry, there's too many meadows out there these days. But Auburn Meadows, in 2016, in the first quarter, we have given 12 new single-family home permits. In all of 2014, we gave 14 single-family residential permits. And we're nearly at the halfway point for the permits issued in 2015, which was 26. So in the first quarter alone, that subdivision is really starting to fire up. Total permits in general, electrical permits, plumbing permits, heating and air permits, remodel permits, everything that we do. For the first quarter of 2016, we have issued 141 permits. Inspections have been very busy. We're still doing some of the county inspections. They just hired an inspector, and our inspector is kind of taking him under his wing and training him. So, and we will probably continue to still do some of the electrical inspections since our inspector is licensed in electrical inspections. But for the city alone, there were 42 inspections in January, 42 somehow match the number in January and February, and 64 in March. So as the weather gets nicer, this is starting to pick up. So that's a total of 148. And in the county, we accompanied 21 inspections in the month of January, 15 in February, and 24 in March, for a total of 60. So total first quarter inspections for 2016 is 208. And that's all I have tonight.
Okay. Thank you, Derek.
Uh-huh.
Questions from the board?
None.
Okay. From the public? Okay. On to the police department. Chief Wormuth.
Good evening, everybody. Since the last time we met, it's been kind of boring. We've only responded to 780 calls for service. A total of 14 citizens were arrested for the following crimes: 7 for wanted on a warrant, 4 for traffic offense, 1 for domestic battery, 1 drug offense, and 1 for child molesting. We've also, out of our office, we issued a total of 20 Indiana handgun permits for this month. I attended the state mandated police chief executive training at the Indiana Law Enforcement Academy the week of March 28th through April 1st. The course covered topics such as human relations, budget, accounting, labor law, liability, stress management, and about 1,000 different ways that I'm going to get sued probably. So on March 30th, we had several incidents of spray painting vandalism around the town. They hit several garages, houses, our high school, and one of our police cars. We as a department took that kind of personal. So I'm very proud of our investigation units who did an outstanding job investigating this crime, and I'm happy to announce a suspect sitting in jail right now rethinking some of the decisions he's made, facing a multitude of charges. So for the homeowners that got their homes sprayed, know that we did catch him, and I apologize that this happened. On April 7th, LPD opened its first open house. We propped the doors open and allowed the general public into the city police station. I had numerous officers come and man each station in the area. We had about 50 to 55 people actually flow through. It was a really good turnout for what we expected. The interaction between the citizens and the officers was outstanding. I taught a small 30-minute class on personal defense that seemed well received. This is something we are definitely going to do again this summer, perhaps on a grander scale. Next time, we'll do our best to have snacks and something to drink. But I think people enjoyed just coming in and looking around. I opened my office up, Brad opened his office up. Everything was open to them, except, of course, evidence rooms. But we explained the reasons for that. But I think the people enjoyed it, and we enjoyed the interaction with the people. That's all I have.
Thank you, Chief. Board?
Nothing.
Okay. Questions from the public? Okay.
Thank you.
On to the street department. Larry Lee.
Thank you, Mayor and Board. First of all, before I start my report, I'd really like to thank the Lebanon Fire Department, a few of the Lebanon police officers that really helped us last Saturday. I've seen the mayor out a couple times there, but we were very busy, couldn't talk to you much at all. We had a total of 7 large trees down over the city, let alone a bunch of limbs. The fire department and police department, they actually were able to get out there and respond before we could get to them. Every time we clean up one or just push it over the side, and they had another one for us. So I don't know if they got used to calling us that night and evening. I don't know what time we finished up. It was pretty close to 7:30, 8 o'clock at night, but I sure appreciate their help. Also, we had to go out to Parks Department and rob our other chipper machine out there. We let them use that quite a bit, but we had 2 chippers going. We had 3 guys on vacation last week, so it was pretty busy. As you can see throughout the town, we're asking residents to go ahead and just put those limbs out next to the street along the curb line. We'll try to get those as soon as we can. They've had great patience with us, and I think the understanding is there too. The other thing is did start our yard debris week. We are falling a little bit behind on that because of the limbs, and we'll start to catch that up. Our annual spring cleanup, I reported last council meeting. It will be April 29th and 30th this year at the street department. Residents are able to bring in their junk and household items they want to dispose of, and that's free for the Lebanon residents only. Along with that, the Boone County Solid Waste will be having their annual hazardous weekend, and that would be April 30th at the Boone County Highway Department. That is going to be taking place 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. on the same time we have our spring cleanup. And the next week and the week after, the Jennifer Lawrence with the Boone County Solid Waste, along with the street department, will have our advertisement and information in the reporter for those details. That's all we got, Mayor.
Question from the board? None. Okay. Question from the public? And again, thank you, Larry. You guys did a great job,
Thank
especially
you,
with
sir.
the police and fire handling those tough wins on Saturdays. So
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you.
keep up the good work. Thank you, Larry. Communications, Joe LePage.
Good evening, everyone. Just want to take a first moment to thank everyone for a very successful Lebanon City Market. Our first Friday went very well. It was cold and windy, but we had a dozen vendors and we had about more than 100 people show up and do some shopping. And so it was great to see members of the community just kind of get together in their downtown and hang out, lose track of time, just shopping and enjoying local and regional vendors. Speaking of vendors, we have new signups almost daily. Today we had 3 different people expressing interest in wanting to become a vendor in Lebanon City Market. And talking about the market, the next First Friday is set for May 6th, and that is from 4 p.m. until 8 p.m. We'll have some live music, some more vendors, and hopefully some better weather. That'd be great. And you can check out the Lebanon City Market on Facebook for any updates. The new vendors that we get, we like to pass along to kind of entice would-be market goers to kind of see what's coming down the pike as far as the Lebanon City Market going forward. And so we're very excited. It's great to have that market relaunched downtown and really building that base of downtown as being the place to be. So we look forward to that only increasing as the summer goes on. Our Heart of Lebanon, the downtown group that's facilitating and putting on the Lebanon City Market, things are really starting to ramp up for that group. Along with Lebanon City Market, we have a subcommittee working on the Melkenyan Classic for 2016, working with NDOT on bringing that race downtown. And in talking with the race organizer, they said if Lebanon is able to get the race downtown, it will be the premier race in their entire season. And so that this would be the Indy 500 of this karting series. And so coupling our event, the Melkenyan race, with the food truck event, the Boys and Girls Club's food truck event, this event could be huge. And you know that in years past that the food truck event has drawn thousands of people. Melkenyan race last year had a tremendous attendance over the 2 days that it was at the fairgrounds, put together in 5 weeks. It was solid, but now being able to have it planned and coupled with a successful event and having it in a place where racers really, really want to be the week after the 500, and then working with some pretty big name sponsors to help put some naming rights on the race, this event is going to absolutely blow up in an absolutely wonderful way. Another event that's coming up is happening on August 6th. It's called the Bicentennial Bash. Mrs. Flannery is helping to kind of brought this to the table, but we're helping that event kind of take the next step. And so we're going to meet tomorrow as the Heart of Lebanon. Their regular meeting is going to happen tomorrow at 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. in the room behind me here to kind of talk about not only the Melkenyan race, but where our group goes moving forward, the Bicentennial Bash and Lebanon City Market, because we're planning for a larger market going forward. I mentioned 12 vendors to start. We've had more than 40 express interest, and as the weather gets better, we will need bigger space. We'll need more resources, and that's a fantastic problem to have. As I mentioned, the next meeting for the Heart of Lebanon, April 12th, 6 p.m., 8 p.m. in the municipal building, second floor behind me here in the utility conference room. If you've never been to a meeting before, that's great. We always welcome the public, always welcome new, fresh faces, fresh ideas. You can be as involved as you want to be, or as little as you want to be. If there's something that kind of tugs at you, if you're a racing fan and want to help the Melkenyan race go well, by all means, come show up, have your input there, and get on a subcommittee and get involved. And so some good things are happening for downtown. Look forward to more of that moving forward.
Okay. Thank you, Joe. Board?
I don't have anything.
Okay. Any questions from the public for Joe? Okay. Thank you very much. I don't believe Mike is here, so is there any old business to come before the board? I don't believe so. Okay, move on to new business then. Derek, if you want to come up and address the issue with the drainage request that we had for the...
The applicant's not here.
Okay, you want us to hold off till next meeting then?
Yeah, I don't see him here. I can briefly talk about it right now, if you'd like. We have a situation over off of Lafayette Avenue and the Drake Street area where there is a property owner that's having some drainage issues in the back of his property, on the west side of his property. And his property parallels a platted street that's never been developed. And he's got approval from the Stormwater Board, from Ken Hedges at the county for the county drainage to put a catch basin in at the back part of this property and pipe it over to Prairie Creek. But the issue is he needs to go out into what is the platted street that, again, has never been developed. So he needs Board of Works approval to be able to do that. So we told him that that would be the process, but apparently, for some reason or another, he did not show up tonight.
Do you think we need him here tonight?
I don't think we necessarily need him here tonight. If you're willing to make a decision on that, I did not bring a map with me or anything. Was anything submitted in your packet?
I remember what you showed me, but that was
Yeah,
it.
I mean,
But there's no asphalt there, right?
No
it's
asphalt.
a platted.
It's just grass. It's literally probably, I would say 150 feet at most from the point of his collection basin to over to the Prairie Creek. Yeah.
And again, he has approval from the Stormwater Board
Yes,
and
he
from
has
the
approval
county
for-
surveyor,
yep,
so.
Yep, anybody that would need to weigh in on it, other than getting approval to be out there in the public street.
Have you looked at the property?
I have looked at the property, yes.
Okay.
Any concerns from your end?
No, there are no concerns. This will be, this is 99.9% unlikely to ever be developed as a public street.
Okay.
Will we make a notation on the deed or anything like that if we allow this?
Yes, we
Okay.
will. Yep.
Okay, so with that, you want a motion, I assume, then that what we need for that?
That would be great, and then we can relay
I'll
that
make a
decision
motion
on.
that we- Okay,
Motion to approve the request then? Is that
yeah,
okay?
motion to approve the request.
Okay, and I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
Thank you very much.
And you can inform the homeowner then,
We will
right?
do that. Yep.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, on to the claims. Entertain a motion to approve the claims,
I make a motion, we approve the claims.
and second that, and all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, claims are approved. With that, we will adjourn and head on the city council meeting. Motion to adjourn?
I second it.
All right, motion to second, all approved. All right, we are adjourned. Thank you
Okay.
very much. The shortly.